Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something specific, mindfulness meditation. We're looking at it as a tool, a serious tool for well-being, especially when you're facing illness. We'll be digging into the clinical side, the trials, the reviews, what places like Johns Hopkins are finding.
Yeah, exactly. We're well past just saying mind and body are connected. Now we have, hard data, measurable stuff.
Right.
So this deep dive, it's really focused on that evidence. How does deliberately paying attention to the present moment actually change things physiologically? We're talking demonstrable benefits here.
So our goal today, for you listening, is pretty clear. Cut through the, let's say, vagueness often around meditation. We want to understand how this intentional awareness does more than just relax you.
Much more.
How does it create real, tangible, biological shifts? Think of this as your shortcut to getting grounded in the science of meditation for health.
Makes sense. And to really grasp the solution, mindfulness, we probably need to start with the problem it addresses.
Which is?
Which is what the mind typically does when you're sick or in pain.
Okay. It often makes things worse, doesn't it?
It really does. Your mind becomes this sort of awful time traveler.
Yeah, you're physically here, but mentally, you're lost in what-ifs about the future, totally fearful.
Or replaying the past, regrets.
Or, and this feels like the worst part, you're just mentally fighting against what you're feeling right now. Like you're at war with your own body.
Exactly. That internal battle, that constant resistance to what is, it's incredibly draining. It creates chronic psychological stress. And that's not just bad for your mood. We now know it actually amplifies the burden and can worsen physical symptoms. It's like pouring fuel on the fire.
So if that resistance, that mental war, is the problem,
Yeah.
how does mindfulness come in as the solution? What's the core idea?
At its heart, mindfulness is about non-judgmental self-awareness. It's simple, but not easy.
Okay.
It means intentionally grounding yourself right here, right now.
Yeah.
Focusing on what you're actually sensing and feeling in this moment.
Without judging it.
Without judging it, without trying to fix it, change it, label it good or bad, just noticing.
That idea of acceptance, though, I think that trips people up, especially with pain or serious symptoms.
Yeah.
Doesn't accepting it feel passive, like giving in?
That is such a common hurdle. And it's a misunderstanding, really. Acceptance isn't liking it. It's not surrender in that sense.
Like,
It's more of a pragmatic acknowledgement. Okay, this is how things are in this specific moment. You don't have to approve of it.
like acknowledging it's raining outside.
Perfect analogy. You can scream at the rain, get worked up, create tension.
Yeah.
Or you accept it's raining, grab an umbrella, and deal with it skillfully. Arguing with reality just causes suffering. Acceptance. It reduces that extra layer of mental pain.
Okay, that clarifies the mental shift. But let's bridge the gap. How does that shift, that non-resistance, actually impact our biology, our physical systems?
It's a direct pathway, mainly through the nervous system. Think about stress. Stress hits, and bam, adrenaline, cortisol, the whole fight or flight cascade kicks in. Heart races, breathing quickens, blood pressure goes up.
Essential for emergencies.
Absolutely. But when it's chronic, when that mental war is constant, that sustained stress response leads to chronic inflammation, wear and tear on the whole system.
So if chronic stress puts the system into overdrive, how does meditation hit the brakes physiologically?
It does it by intentionally invoking the body's natural relaxation response.
The opposite of fight or flight.
Precisely. When you anchor your awareness on something neutral, your breath maybe, or bodily sensations, you interrupt that cycle of worried thoughts.
Okay.
That calming signal tells the brain the threat is over, allowing the autonomic nervous system to shift gears, to re-regulate. The American Heart Association points to this for managing stress, high blood pressure, major heart disease risk factors.
And there's specific research on this. I recall reading about certain types, like transcendental meditation, showing effects on blood pressure, even for people already on medication.
That's right. It acts as a powerful addition to standard care. Not a replacement, but an adjunct. And the impact isn't just cardiovascular. The immune system data is, frankly, quite surprising. We're talking systematic reviews of randomized controlled trials, or RCTs.
Okay, let's get into that. What's happening down at the cellular level? What markers are actually changing?
Okay, so researchers have found several key things that seem to replicate across studies. First, notable reductions in a cellular transcription factor called NFK.
NFK, okay. Translate that for us.
Yeah.
Why is reducing that important? Is it like turning down an inflammation dial?
That's a great way to put it. NFQB is basically a master switch. It coordinates the body's inflammatory response at the genetic level. When it's overactive, you've got widespread inflammation.
So mindfulness helps dial it back.
The evidence suggests it does. It seems to literally reduce the molecular signal driving that systemic inflammation.
Wow. Okay, that's significant. What else?
Second, we see reductions in C-reactive protein CRP. That's something often measured in blood tests as a general marker of inflammation.
Okay, makes sense.
Third, and this is fascinating, observed increases in telomerase activity.
Telomerase.
Yeah.
That relates to aging, right? Telomeres. How does that connect to the immune system?
Exactly. Telomeres are protective caps on our DNA. They shorten with cell division, which is linked to aging and cell vulnerability. Telomerase is the enzyme that helps rebuild them.
So, more telomerase activity.
Suggests protection against premature aging or breakdown of immune cells. It points towards maintaining the resilience and longevity of the immune system itself.
And the fourth finding you mentioned, it was about T cells.
Yes, particularly in studies involving people diagnosed with HIV, mindfulness practice was linked to increases, or at least a slowing of the decline, in CD4 plus T cell counts.
Which are crucial immune cells.
Crucial. So taken together, these markers point towards mindfulness having protective and sort of regulatory effects right down at the cellular machinery level.
That's compelling for chronic conditions. What about acute stuff, like, say, getting a cold or the flu? Was there research there? I remember an RCT with older adults.
Yes, a really interesting one. Compared mindfulness, exercise, and a control group. The results were quite practical.
What did they find?
The group practicing mindfulness, they had significantly shorter periods of illness, and they reported feeling less sick, overall lower severity scores compared to both the control and even the exercise group.
Shorter duration, lower severity.
Mm-hmm.
What did that mean in practical terms, like for missing work or activities?
Huge difference. The mindfulness group had a 76% lower rate of absenteeism due to respiratory illness compared to the control group.
76%.
Yeah. It really suggests mindfulness isn't just about feeling calm. It seems to be a physical intervention that helps the immune system tackle acute threats more effectively.
Okay, let's pivot to maybe the most common application people think of, pain. If the science shows this mental shift works, what's the go-to technique? John Kabat-Zinn's work often comes up here.
Right. The foundational technique, especially for pain, is often the body scan, and its goal is, well, it's different.
Absolutely.
The initial goal isn't necessarily to make the pain go away. It's about changing your fundamental relationship to the pain sensation.
Changing the relationship.
Yes, and the research shows this approach can decrease how severe the pain feels and increase your ability to cope with it across many different conditions.
So, how do you actually do a body scan?
Typically, you lie down, bring awareness to your breath for a bit, just to settle. Then you systematically, slowly move your attention through your entire body, part by part, maybe starting at your toes, moving up to your head.
Yeah, when you get to a part that hurts.
The key is to notice all sensations: warmth, tingling, pressure, numbness, and yes, pain, but without judgment. You just acknowledge it. Pain sensation here. You observe it, maybe breathe with it or into it gently. No fighting it, no wishing it away. Just pure objective awareness.
It sounds intense. And the sources emphasize this isn't a quick fix, right? It requires serious commitment.
Absolutely not a quick fix. It's training, like building a muscle. To get those biological shifts we talked about, consistency is crucial. Kabat-Zinn often recommends practicing the body scan for, say, 45 minutes daily.
Daily. For 45 minutes.
Daily. And importantly, doing it whether you feel like it or not, whether it feels relaxing that day or deeply uncomfortable. It's about training the mind's response pattern.
Okay, so That dedicated practice pays off beyond just pain. We saw evidence for anxiety, depression, sleep issues.
Definitely. For depression, for instance, there was an analysis suggesting mindfulness-based cognitive therapy might be comparable to antidepressants in preventing relapse.
Might be comparable.
Yes, strong suggestion. But as the researchers noted, more replication is always good to really solidify findings like that. Still, very promising.
Let's touch on some other specific conditions mentioned in the literature. What about gut health? IBS, IBDs?
Significant improvements reported there. Mindfulness interventions like MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, showed clear benefits for symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome and even inflammatory bowel diseases like ulcerative colitis.
How? By managing stress?
Largely, yes. By dialing down that stress response, it reduced anxiety and directly improved quality of life. It really highlights that powerful gut-brain connection.
And cancer recovery. You mentioned telomeres earlier.
Right. For cancer patients, particularly breast cancer survivors in some key studies, MBSR significantly reduced their perceived stress levels. And yes, that telomere study included breast cancer patients. The MBSR group appeared to maintain telomere length better than controls over the study period. Again, suggesting cellular resilience.
What about addiction, where the mind is really locked onto cravings and distress?
There's a specific approach called mindfulness-based relapse prevention therapy, or MBRT.
Okay.
It directly teaches skills to become aware of those intense thoughts and feelings without automatically reacting. It helps increase tolerance for discomfort and distress.
Creating a pause.
Exactly. Creating that crucial space between the trigger, the craving, and the impulsive action. It builds self-regulation skills.
So beyond these formal practices like sitting or the body scan, there are ways to bring mindfulness into everyday life too, right?
Absolutely. And these can be just as powerful. 3 really stand out. First, there's loving-kindness practice, or metta.
Metta.
Yeah. It involves intentionally cultivating feelings of warmth, friendliness, and compassion first towards yourself, which can be hard, especially when ill.
Towards the parts of you that are struggling.
Exactly. And then extending that outwards to others. It directly counteracts feelings of frustration or self-criticism.
Okay. Then there's bringing awareness to simple activities.
Yes, mindfulness of activity. This is about fighting autopilot mode. When we're stressed or unwell, it's so easy to just go through the motions, eating, washing dishes, walking while the mind is miles away, worrying. So deliberately bringing your full attention to the sensations of that simple task. The warm water on your hands, the taste of your food, it grounds you, pulls you out of rumination, and actually makes daily life feel richer, more spacious.
And the third one you mentioned counters negativity.
Gratitude. It sounds simple, maybe even cliche, but it's a potent mental practice. The mind, especially under stress, defaults to noticing what's wrong, what's missing, the not enough mindset. Intentionally recalling and really feeling appreciation for things that are good in your life, however small, actively rewires that negative bias. It builds resilience.
Okay, this is all really compelling data and practice, but we need the caveats, the critical context. This isn't magic.
Absolutely crucial point. Let's be very clear, based on sources like Johns Hopkins and the American Heart Association. Meditation is a supplement. A powerful one, but supplementary, meaning it should never replace conventional medical care. Don't stop prescribed medications. Don't skip treatments. Don't ignore fundamental lifestyle advice on diet, exercise, sleep, weight management. Meditation adds to these. It doesn't substitute for them.
And you stressed earlier, it's hard work. It requires practice. Did the studies link the benefits to how much people practiced?
They did, significantly. Many of those positive biological effects we discussed, the changes in NF-key and telomerase activity, were often found to be dosage dependent.
Dosage dependent, meaning the more you practice, the stronger the effect.
Essentially, yes, or at least consistent practice was necessary to see those effects. The benefits correlated with treatment adherence, with frequency. You have to put in the time regularly, often daily, to really cultivate those measurable biological changes. It reinforces the building a muscle idea.
So let's try to bring this all together. The core takeaway seems to be that mindfulness gives us practical tools. Tools to change how we relate to difficult experiences, resistance, worry, fear. And by changing that relationship, we tangibly, measurably downregulate the body's physiological stress response.
That's it, exactly. That shift in relationship is the linchpin. It allows you to find or return to a state of relative calm and perhaps compassion, even when things are physically very difficult.
Right.
So if the practice is proven and the evidence is strong to help restore balance in the system, reducing inflammation, maybe buffering cellular aging, then you really have to see mindfulness not as some passive escape, as an active, skillful engagement with your own mind and body. It's about consciously creating the conditions internally that give your body, give nature, the best possible opportunity to shift the probabilities towards healing and well-being if healing is possible. The real power lies in how we choose to meet each moment.